it says, but he whose was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
Whoa, nah, bro. They didn't say that. They didn't say that, brother. Read it again, man.
Verse 23, it says, but he who was of the bondwoman.
Who's the bondwoman? Who's the bondwoman?
Hagar.
Hagar the Egyptian, man. You know what? Wait a second. I'm going to type in Ishmael to see. Maybe Ishmael had another mother. You could be wrong, right? Maybe Ishmael had another mother. You know? Read that, bro. Make sure that say Hagar, because I don't want, you know.
All right, this is Genesis 16 and 15. And Hagar bare Abram.
The bondwoman, the handmaid.
Right. Bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael.
Oh, so Hagar bare Ishmael. So is Ishmael the child of that flesh? Right?
Yeah.
That's not the child of God in Romans 9?
Yeah, he's not the child of God, excuse me.
Well, she ain't either. She Egyptian.
Yeah, right. She's not the child of God. Yeah. Going into the children.
So wait a minute. The one who was born after the bondwoman was born after the flesh. The bondwoman is Hagar. Who was born after Hagar? Ishmael. So Ishmael is the same child of the flesh in Romans 9th chapter that are not the children of God. Because the promise was counted for the seed, which was Isaac, you dummy. Because he had 8 sons. The children of the flesh, these, and it says these, meaning plural. So it not only counts for Abraham, but the other sons that Abraham had as well. The 6 in Black Torah. 1 second, brother. Go ahead. So it says the children, bone, which was Hagar, she had the one born after the flesh, which was who? Ishmael. That's the same child of the flesh that are not the children of God in Romans 9 and 8.
Right.
That's the same child of the flesh, because then he says the promise is counted for the seed, which is dealing with the physical lineage of people. So how the hell could your dumb ass sit there and make a comment saying fleshly Israelites will make you God's children? Because he brings this scripture up. Seed is counted for the seed. Being fleshy don't make you that. They were children of flesh, and the children of God. He don't understand what that means.
Right.
It's talking about it's talking about Ishmael, and it's talking about the rest of Ishmael's brothers that came out of let me get it up here. It's talking about Ishmael and the rest of Ishmael's brothers. Because we just read here in Galatians, the 4th chapter, that the one born of the bondwoman was after the flesh, which is who? Ishmael, because it came out of the bondwoman, which was Hagar.
Right.
So he's born after the flesh. So they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. And it says these meaning plural, speaking of Ishmael and the rest of his brothers that Abraham had by Keturah.
Yeah.
So those are the children of the flesh that are not the children of God. Why? Because just because they came out of Abraham doesn't mean there's going to be children.
Right.
Why? Because the Isaac shall that seed be called. Why? Because the children of the promise comes for the seed.
Right.
Why? Because the Most High is dealing with specific lineage of people. Go ahead, bro.
Which shows you, and then, you know, in Galatians, he specifically went into the bondwoman, you know, which that's going into Hagar. So he's talking about Ishmael and Isaac, but showing you how insignificant the other sons was. He wasn't even. He didn't even. The point was made when he already went into as far as between Isaac and Ishmael. So he didn't even have to further prove it with the other sons. You know. Yeah. That's why the scripture says not seed as in many.
Exactly.
All right.
Because I see what is Yahushua, which is Christ, but he don't understand. It says Christ there, but he don't understand that.
Yeah.
Continue.
Go ahead, you got it. Oh, okay. Oh, read it. All right. It says Galatians 4:23. It says, but he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise.
Who is that talking about? Isaac. Because the promise was given to who? Wait a minute. Back to Romans 9. Isaac shall that seed be called, but in the promise is counted for the seed. But it's who? Isaac. Same thing. Right. Showing you the 8th verse and the 7th verse saying the same thing. Which further goes on down to Esau and further goes on down to Jacob. Because we're going to keep reading it. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 24 says, which things are an allegory.
An allegory. Allegory comes from the Greek word allegoria, which means veiled speech. Which things are allegory to what? Continue.
For these are the 2 covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, okay, and it says, which genereth to bondage, which is Hagar. So
Hagar being a bondwoman, that was a sign of how we was bound by the laws on Mount that was given to us on Mount Sinai.
Right.
Go on.
For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which is now, and is in bondage with her children.
Because we was once bondage under the law. We was once in bondage under the law, and it says she's is an allegory. Sarah and Hagar actually existed, but that was a sign of what's going to happen in the future. That's called the foreshadowing, indication beforehand of what's going to happen in the future. Continue.
All right, verse 25. For this Hagar on Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is, and is bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Go on. Because we're free from it. We're no longer bound by the law. That's what Yahweh Shai said. You should know the truth, and the truth should make you free. Right. Yahweh Shai is the truth, and we're free from being bound under the law. We're free from being servants of sin. Go on.
Right. Verse 27. It says, "For it is written, Rejoice, thou."
That's why we're no longer to be servants of sin. Go on.
Rejoice, thou barren that bearest not. Break forth and cry, thou that travailest not. For the desolate have many more children than she which have an husband.
Go on.
Now,
right to the point. Go ahead.
Now we brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise.
See, once again, then he says we brethren.
Yeah.
Israelites. Wasn't Paul
brethren
Israelites?
According to the flesh, who are Israelites.
Going back to Romans 9. He don't know how to line up precepts.
Because when Paul said according to the flesh, when he said who are Israelites, and then when he went down, when he was talking about the flesh, he wasn't even talking about the same thing.
Because if he was still talking about Israel in Romans 9:8 when he said the children of the flesh and the children of God, why would he then say my brother, my kingdom according to the flesh, who are Israelites, who gonna get the glory, the kingdom, the covenants, all of that?
Right.
That'd be a contradiction. This dumbass said a contradiction to the unlearned. Nigga, it's a contradiction in your dumbass. That's why you wrote this on the comment board. Stay the fuck off my board, man. Every time you write something on the board through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, we making a video of you, man. You know? Go on.
Alright, verse verse 20, verse 30, okay, 28, it says, Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise, but as then he was born after the flesh.
Talking about Ishmael, and which further goes into Esau, because Esau sought to kill Jacob for the blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because of that. And also because if you got a precept Bible, it'll lead you right back to when Ishmael had laughed at Sarah. That's why Isaac's name means laughter.
Right.
Go on.
Okay, and it says, after the flesh persecuted him, that was born after the spirit.
Which is who? It's talking about Israel.
Right. Even so,
Isaac went down to Israel. Go ahead.
Come on. Even so, it is now. Verse 30, Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son.
Man, fuck them. Go ahead.
For the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman.
So they ain't going to be heirs to the kingdom.
Right.
So Cornelius not an Israelite. How the hell he going to, you know?
Yeah.
He got to be a Jake, an Israelite, one of the tribes. Right. Go ahead. And you got to show for that too, Negro. Mongoloid. Go ahead.
Verse 31. So then, brethren,
Which we know the free woman is talking about Sarah. Okay? The son of the free woman is Isaac. The free woman is Sarah. And the son of the bondwoman is Ishmael. And the bondwoman is Hagar. And also, there's them other nations, they ain't going to be heirs either.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
They don't even fit in the conclusion, you know?
They don't even fit in the equation. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then, brethren, we are not the children of the bondwoman, but of the free.
So he wasn't talking no heathens. That right there proves it right there alone. Because the child of the bondwoman was heathens.
Right.
So we dealt with that. I'm trying to see, man. I'm trying to think. I got a couple more. We got a couple more. Did you have them scriptures in We don't even get to the scriptures in the
apocrypha, we even get to the ones in the apocrypha.
We still need them. Want to bring them out?
If you want to keep it rolling, through the spirit. May I just make
one
reference back to the law thing? Because you said we're not going to be under the carnal law. Did not the scripture says in Romans the 8th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, to be carnal minded is death, but to be spiritual minded is life? Mm-hmm. But when you read Romans 6:23, it says the wages of sin is death. So to be carnal minded is to follow the ways of death, which one of the ways of following death is the wages of sin, which sin, when you read in 1 John, it says is the transgression of the law. So what do you mean? What do you mean that the laws is carnal?
Yeah.
Sinning is carnal, not keeping the law. Okay, because we read
trying to see if I can find that scripture. The carnal mind is death.
I believe it's Romans 8 and 6. Well, the brother got it right there. Romans 8 and 6. It says, for to be carnally